What's going on, everybody? It's DK with RPM Gaming, where we talk about retro PC and mobile gaming. Do me a favor and hit those like and subscribe buttons to help support and grow the channel at no cost to you. And don't forget to stick around for the latest Retro Rewind later in the video. Today I'm going to show you guys a few more things that I learned on RetroArch. Now, I know there's a lot of people who know how to use RetroArch. There's also a lot of gamers that don't. And if you're new to emulation in general, RetroArch can be a little overwhelming. So hopefully by the end of the video we'll have you a little more up to speed. So let's get started. Okay, the first thing I want to show you guys is a little bit of a sound issue in the PPSSPP core within RetroArch. You can hear how the sound has got crackles and pops in it, and it's also just a little on the slow side. I don't know if you can tell that or not, but we're going to fix that issue. I tried quite a few things at first, and almost everything I did made it worse, but it's a really simple fix, so let me show you guys how to do it. So you want to pull up your quick menu and then close out of the game. And from here, head over to your settings menu. Scroll down to frame throttle, then select rewind, and turn off rewind support. If you use rewind support in other cores on RetroArch, anytime you play a PSP game, you'll want to turn it off to make sure you have that quality sound. Oh yeah, that's a lot better, you can already tell. The tempo is even sped back up to right where it's supposed to be. Next, I'm going to show you guys how to set specific cores for your ROM's playlist. So in the menu, head over to Import Content and scroll down to Manual Scan. In here, select Content Directory, then select the system you want to set the core for. Once you have your system selected, pick Scan this directory. Back in the Manual Scan menu, scroll down and select your system name. Now, I'm not entirely sure this is a necessary step, but I just did it anyway. You can also make a custom system name if you want to. Next, scroll down to Default Core. In here is where you want to select the core that you want associated with this playlist. Once you have your core picked, then scroll down and pick Start Scan. This will only take a few seconds, and after this, any game you pick in that playlist will be started with that core. Next, I'll show you guys some of the upscaling options you can do in the cores. Here's the original Tomb Raider on PlayStation 1. You can see the graphics are a little clunky and rough. Let's see if we can't smooth that out just a little bit. So pull up your quick menu and head down to Core Options. Once in here, scroll down to Video. Once in Video, turn on Dithering Pattern. This will make it look just a little smoother. Go one step back in the menu and scroll down to GPU Plugin. In here, I set the Show Interlace Video to On and turned on each of the options below that. Let's take a look and see what we've done. That's a lot smoother in my opinion. I'm using the PCSX rearmed core. For whatever reason, I couldn't get either of the Beetle cores to work for me. The rearmed core doesn't have as many scaling and resolution options as the other two, but we can still make it work. Next, head on over to your settings menu and then scroll down to Video. Once in here, select Scaling, and then scroll down and turn on Bilinear Filtering. This will add a little more smoothness to the picture. Scroll up to Aspect Ratio, which will be set at Core Provided by default. In here, you'll be able to select the aspect ratio that fits your preference. I think we're going to go with a 16:9, and here's our finished product. Much smoother. Here's a side-by-side comparison of the before and after. There's a pretty big difference. Maybe not a night and day difference, but still a whole lot better. So I learned a little more about RetroArch, and I hope that you did too.
Latest Retro Rewind.
The latest Retro Rewind is Desert Strike: Return to the Gulf, coming to us from all the way back in March of 1992 on the Sega Genesis. The game was published by Electronic Arts and drew inspiration from the Gulf War. Desert Strike plays out a conflict between the United States and a Middle Eastern country ran by a maniacal dictator known as General Kill Baba. The game is classified as a shoot-'em-up and was wildly successful upon its release, topping the bestseller charts, and at the time was Electronic Arts' highest-selling game. Desert Strike received many publication reviews of over 90% and was also released on the Super Nintendo, Game Boy Advance, the Amiga, and several other platforms as well. Aggregators scored the Sega Genesis version highest overall with a 77.75%. 25 years after its initial release, Games Radar ranked Desert Strike 26th on their best Sega Genesis and Mega Drive games of all time. The game has multi-directional scrolling levels with an isometric view in which you take control of an AH-64 Apache helicopter, armed with machine guns, Hydra rockets, and Hellfire missiles, each of which is more deadlier than the last. The drawback, though, is that the more powerful the weapon, the fewer you can carry. You'll have to manage your weapon supplies as well as your fuel, both of which can be replenished from ammo crates and fuel barrels that you'll come across on the map. Each level has several missions that involve destroying enemy bases and weapons, rescuing POWs, and capturing the enemy, all the while dodging soldiers with machine guns, anti-aircraft missiles, tanks, and even armored cars. So kick the tires, lay down that cover fire, and bring those POWs home in Desert Strike: Return to the Gulf on the original Sega Genesis. Alright everyone, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or what you'd like to see. Should have some more controller reviews coming in the next few weeks, so keep an eye out for those. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and let's grow this channel together. We'll see you next time on RPM Gaming.